Episode 201. Today we recap the Red Series and preview the upcoming series versus the Milwaukee Brewers. You're listening to the Bucco Bantr podcast, brought to you by the Just Baseball Media Network. Cue the music.
Rockin' 101, she compliment my taste. Whiskey in my lemonade, cause I like the way it tastes. Best seats at the Pirates game, they let me run the base. Yeah, my time is like my money, cause I can't afford to waste. Wifey is a lawyer, take my date to my dates. Order steak by the plate, send in case after case. Run my race at my pace, clear the grass of the snakes.
Adam, welcome back to another episode of Bucco Bantr. We're at 201 now, which seems kind of crazy. Looks like very successful weekend at the ballpark. I just got back from a weekend away. Definitely feeling FOMO. Been trying to follow along as much as possible, seeing all the cool interviews you guys secured during the weekend and everything you were able to do at the ballpark. So definitely feeling some FOMO. But yeah, man, we have some baseball to talk about.
Some baseball. It was a fun weekend, but some baseball. We saw Ke'Bryan Hayes on his return back. He said it was nice to see us. Can you believe that? It was nice to see us.
Yeah, nice to talk to you for the first time.
Did not talk to us once in Pittsburgh. Not one time.
Did it actually look like he recognized you guys?
Dude, he was like our best friend.
No way.
Crazy, yeah.
That's something, man. That's something.
He was so nice. He was so personable. He took the time out. We appreciate the interview. Said it was nice to see us. I was like, same, I guess.
I was at a wedding last night and you texted me and I almost spit my drink out. I was like, oh my God. My girlfriend's like, what's going on? I'm like, Ke'Bryan Hayes actually talked.
He talked to Ke'Bryan Hayes. I was talking to Debo. The field was clearing out. He was the last one to take batting practice. And I'm like, we got to give it a shot. Like one more time for just old time's sakes. And I was like, it's maybe a 2% chance he talks to us. And man, did he want to talk. It was awesome. It was great, but I was very confused about the whole situation. Because before I was just like, you know what? He didn't want to be here. He didn't want to talk to us. Let's just let bygones be bygones. And now I'm a very confused individual when it comes to how I feel about Ke'Bryan Hayes. The video, I just sent you a little bit of a rough edit. Pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It seems like he was really engaged, and that was a good question. We gotta mix it up. I know we've been doing a lot of Mount Rushmores and stuff like that, but there's some teams coming in that we're really excited to talk to in the coming weeks. So we'll definitely have to brainstorm some questions. And if you have ideas, let us know.
Yeah, we talked to Jose Trevino, another really good interview, and then
cool
Tyler
guy.
Stevenson.
I've heard he's a good guy. Yeah.
Really good guy. And then Tyler Stevenson, also awesome guy. Spent a lot of time with him talking, but man, it was hot at the ballpark. We gave away a lot of stuff, split the series with the Reds. Kind of the same old. Like, let's get right into it. Yeah. Didn't slug much. I mean, there's some positives that we can look at here. Let's start with Spencer Horwitz. Okay. In the last 3 series, Scott, he's hitting 375, 444 OBP, 575 slug with a 1019 OPS. Like, he has been consistent for about 2 hits a game, scoring a run, driving in a run. It looks like that bat is finally coming around. Like, he's getting a full season of Major League Baseball experience, and you're kind of seeing what he could be as an everyday player in the lineup.
Yeah, I like him at the top of the order, and I think depending on how the team looks next year, we were really excited about Onel Cruz being in the leadoff spot initially, and that didn't end up working out. But I kind of like Spencer Horwitz in the 2-hole.
Yeah.
You just don't have a guy that like you can put at 1 perfectly right now, and it's. But you gotta love what you're seeing from him overall, and you gotta love the progress that he's made throughout the season, because I know people were disappointed for a little bit, but he started the season 2 months late, and this is who we traded for, man, and this is a controllable bat that we have until 2031. I think it's
right.
Quite a long time. So
yeah, I think it was like 5 years of control, and then Brian Reynolds. A lot of people have been talking about it. Has gotten hot in the month of August. 324, 378, 559 with a 937 OPS. So he's finally getting comfortable. A little bit too late for this year, but it gives me a little bit of hope. It's like, all right, maybe he just had a bad year, right? Yeah. Like, he's pretty much hit every other year, 2-time All-Star, finally putting it together. That's somebody who there was trade talks about him. We saw the no trade list, all that hype, and then it kind of just died off. And at the end of the day, I think this is somebody that you probably want to keep, or else you're just going to have to keep starting over with finding bats. This is somebody that you have under control for a long time, that you gave a big contract to. All things considered, it's relative with the Pirates. But you just mentioned O'Neal Cruz. So let's talk about it, because I think on this podcast, we've given him a lot of slack in terms of having a full Major League Baseball season, getting used to a new position, a lot of variables when it comes to O'Neal Cruz. Right. And I think a lot of that moving around and switching positions and getting a lot of at bats can translate to poor offense, but he has been atrocious at the plate lately. Here's some numbers, Scott. Since July 1st, he is below the Mendoza line. Okay. He's hitting 96 with a 246 OBP, 357 slugging, and a 603 OPS. In that time span since July 1st, he has just hit 3 homers. So you talk about adding bats to the lineup and having some type of consistency in Major League guys that are ready to shine. That's supposed to be your guy. Like, this is supposed to be one consistent piece. And I think at this point, we might have to start saying, like, not he is what he is, but giving a little bit more criticism when it's due, because we're getting to the point where he's had enough service time where you should be able to figure it out. You should be able to make these types of adjustments, and we can't be going on a month and a half slump at any point, regardless of how this team is doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the bat hasn't progressed the way we wanted to. Right. And, I had some friends text me this weekend. It's like, you got to think about moving him if this is the way he's trending. And I think he is going to always be streaky. I think you see that from an Ellie De La Cruz too, right?
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, and when it comes to like extension talks, people are talking about extensions. I think they are very, very cautious with this one, because they don't want to give another extension to a guy that's gonna, I don't want to say burn them, but right. Your 2 highest paid offensive players were Brian Reynolds and Brian Hayes this year, and they're arguably, for the first 2 months, 2 of the worst hitters in baseball. So, or more for Brian Reynolds, I don't want to say the worst, but very disappointing. So I think they're going to be cautious with this one, but he's got 2 years of control left. I think it's a conversation. I know Noah reported for the trade deadline. I think it's going to be a conversation that they're going to listen on in the offseason.
I'd listen. Mm-hmm. I'd listen. I know other teams that we heard the Yankees were interested in having him play for third base. So I think third. Yeah. We confirmed that this weekend from some sources, I'll say.
For a team that has like struggled to have a legitimate third baseman, that's a wild one for me, because they were that's why Hayes was a target for them. Right. They wanted a legit third baseman, and take a guy that has never played it. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really get it. Just him moving around a lot. I mean, you've seen like continued mistakes in the outfield, and while I think he has taken leaps and bounds when it comes to manning center field, it still is a pretty rough watch, other than the cannon of an arm that he has. And then something that Debo and I saw on the field today when we got there this morning, Alexander Canario. Remember him? Remember that he's on this team? He's still here.
I heard he's taking reps at first base.
Yes. So I took a video of him. I did not put it on the internet because I'm not trying to get Twitter all that riled up right now. And I'm just like, he had a first baseman's glove on. I was like, is that Canario? Because him and Peggy has gotten some time at first base. Mm-hmm. But I was like, first of all, kind of forgot that he was still here.
Yeah, because he doesn't play.
Why is he on the roster? And then 2, not only is he not going to play outfield, or is he not getting in the game, they have him at first base. And it was rough. I mean, like, it looked like they were teaching him how to, I mean, it probably is. They were teaching him how to play first base for the first time. It was a tough watch. We were standing right behind him while he was taking reps, and man, it was not fun. Like, what are we doing? Like, why? Again, and I know he doesn't have options, so if he's gone, he's gone, but who cares, right? Mm-hmm. Why do you keep him around if you're trying to make the argument that young guys need reps? I'd rather see Nick York get reps at first base, and I know he was trash in spring training at first base, and that's not his position, but hell, get him in the lineup, right? I'd rather see Billy Cook, who has first base experience, takes reps at first base. It's just like, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense why this team does what they do. And that's not even mentioning the whole Bubba noise that's going on right now. Noah dropped the article that Bubba thinks he can contribute to the team. He doesn't know what's going on. It's very confusing.
Yeah, there's like no method to their madness right now. Like when I saw that, I was just like, why don't you just play him in the outfield, the position that he knows, over a guy like Jack Sawinski who's hitting like 110?
Right.
Like I know Canario's not blowing us out of the water, but like he's hit better this year than Jack Sawinski has. But also, why roster him if he's not going to play? You're just taking up a roster spot. And after the trade deadline, there was all this talk about giving opportunities to young players, but they're literally like forcing Canario to play a position he's never played before, than calling up a Billy Cook or Nick York. Like, it just makes no sense to me. And with what we were talking about, O'Neal Cruz and his production lately, with a team like Pittsburgh, a small market team, there's just very little margin for error, and they just love to consume the most errors, if you will, in every facet of the game. Like, it just, every decision they make is just mind-blowing. So yeah, I don't really get that. I saw your text this weekend that it looked pretty bad, and I was like, it's just why try? Why force this? He's a DFA candidate. Just, if he's not going to play, give a roster spot to someone who could see big league reps.
How about this? Rafael Flores, who was the headliner in your trade. You're talking about a late call up this year, catcher, first baseman. Let's get him some reps. How about Cam Devaney, who you traded for, who was supposed to be your replacement, most likely for IKF, who you didn't move? He's played third base. Let's try him out at a corner. That's better. I'd rather give him a shot than Alexander Canario. I'd rather give him a shot than Peggy at first base, if we're being quite honest. You go down the list, Nick York, I'd rather give him a shot. Billy Cook, I'd rather just see him get more reps. Okay, and that's kind of where the list ends. Malcolm Nunez is on the 60-day in AAA Indy, but man, like, there's not many options, but just get those guys up. You said you have guys in AAA who are ready that you want. Brother, it's August 10th.
Yeah.
There's not much time left.
Yeah.
If you want guys to contribute next year, likely they're not going to make the opening day roster if they're not getting time right now.
And what they're going to do is they're just going to DFA these guys, right? Yeah. Like with like a couple weeks left to go, and then they're going to call up Nick York to play for the last week, and it just won't make any sense. But that's the Pittsburgh Pirates for you, man. It's frustrating. The only other thing I have headline-wise, I saw that they claimed, and I think this was Thursday, they claimed Jack Little off waivers from the Dodgers, signed him to AAA Indy. I think he's a reliever, right-handed reliever. So right now, unless it's changed since I've been gone this weekend, 39 players on the 40-man roster.
Correct. So, yep. You got it. You want to get us kicked off with Thursday? And before we do, actually, nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you. You like this? Is from the Strip District.
I mean, I could have guessed it was. I walk by that place every single day. Is it the one next to Allegheny Coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Wore it today when I went to Tony Soprano's house. So
I know. How was it? Good? I bet those people hate that.
Actually, we read about it. We looked it up on the drive home, and apparently they've been living there for 30 plus years. And I guess like every anniversary of James Gandolfini passing, they get like flowers on their driveway and stuff like that. Dude, you should have seen this neighborhood. That house was the smallest one in there. Like, it was very, very ritzy neighborhood in North Caldwell, New Jersey. But yeah, it's funny driving up there. I was seeing the scenes of like Tony driving down those wooded streets and like flicking off the detectives as he's driving out of his plan.
Did they actually shoot at that house?
They did the pilot and they filmed there like 50 times, but I think in Queens, they recreated the kitchen. They had a set. So, yeah.
So just like you got your Italian blood boiling today. You really got yourself going.
I sent it to my cousins, a picture, and they're like, dude, that's the biggest I've ever seen you smile. I was like, I felt like I was at home.
I mean, it was either that or when you interviewed Alessandro Ercolani.
Yeah, true. That's my guy. It's my paisan.
We were sitting in the press today, and Noah was talking. We saw the photo and I showed it to him. He's like, oh my God, of course Scott went to the Sopranos house. And he's like, I don't know what's worse, that or the 2 Italian flags on his glove for softball. Not 1, but 2.
Yeah, there's 2, of course.
There's 2, of course. Before we get into Thursday's game, go over to Total Sports Enterprises for all your Pittsburgh sports memorabilia needs. Pirates, Penguins, Steelers, everything you want. Total Sports Enterprises has you covered. We were at the game all weekend. Total Sports Enterprises was hooking up everybody with autographs. We had a Brian Reynolds autograph, Joey Bart, David Bednar, no longer here, but we've given out hundreds of David Bednar signed baseballs and much, much more. You can find all of that and more at totalsportsenterprises.com. Go to the description below, click the link to let them know Bucco Bantr sent you. Scott, let's talk Thursday.
Thursday, Skeens Day. We also filmed a short documentary, if you will.
Let's talk about it real quick.
Yeah, let's talk about that. The 999 challenge. My buddy Mike, who came in last in our fantasy football league. That was his punishment from last season. Had to do it before this season started, and there was a $1 dog night, and it's like, let's do it. And he finished it in the 9th, right?
He did finish it. Now there's been some hoopla around it because a lot of people have their own rules to the 999 challenge, and I'd like to hear from our audience. Now, his strategy was, let's hammer some beers, let's get ourselves feeling some type of way, and then we'll pound the hot dogs. Now, there's other people that say you have to do a dog and a beer per inning, and you cannot go until you finish the first one, right? So it's every inning you're having a beer and a hot dog. You're within those parameters. How do you feel about that? Do you think it's kind of just like, hey, you get 9 beers, 9 dogs, and you're done? Or do you think it should be more structured?
I thought it was always you had to do a beer and a hot dog each inning. So when the second inning starts, you start your second dog and second hot dog. That's how I interpreted it. But he finished 9 and 9 before the game was over, and I think that's what matters.
Either way, it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I don't think I could eat 3. I could eat 3 hot dogs, but like hot dogs fill me up quickly. So 9 hot dogs is more disgusting than 9 beers, in my opinion.
Excuse my language, but it was the grossest thing I've ever seen. It was disgusting. At one point, he was like squeezing the hot dogs to try and make them smaller to eat them. It was so gross.
Yeah.
And the dollar dogs are they're terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They absolutely are. Not a fan. He actually took the buns from the dollar dogs because they were thinner and wrapped them around like actual $5 hot dogs. So hopefully that's
an expensive venture. So, all right, let's talk baseball.
Skeens Day. He went 6 innings, 7 hits, no earned, no walks, 8 Ks. He's a 1.94 ERA and 11 whiffs on that game. 27 2/3 straight scoreless innings pitched at PNC Park for Paul Skeens. I believe that's some kind of record or the youngest pitcher to pitch, I think, 5 straight scoreless games at his home ballpark. I don't know. Something like that. So, he continues to look brilliant. Cam Sanders went 1 inning, no hits. Ryan Barucki, 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 Ks. And Kyle Nicholas went 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 K. They won the game 7-0 behind Henry Davis's offensive efforts. He hit his 5th home run. He had 2 RBIs. Shot that average up to 172. Brian Reynolds hit his 11th, went 2 for 4. And Jared Traylor was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs, hit the ball hard. 10 hits total, 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position, 11 left on base, 5 Ks.
And then Friday, 3-2 dub, 2 in a row. Keller, 5 2/3, 6 hits, 2 earned, 3 walks, 3 Ks. Not much going on in this game until the late inning heroics. What are you smiling about?
The banner at the bottom.
Oh, it's just about the Wolf game.
Yeah, I know. You're advertising. I like it.
September 2nd.
Yeah,
2025 versus the Dodgers. Wolf game.
Yeah. Bring your Wolf shirts.
Bring your Wolf shirts. Meet us at the top of the rotunda. Anyways, Scott, Friday, Keller was good. Bullpen, decent. Not much offense until late in the game. Reynolds had 2 hits on the day. The go-ahead triple. Noelve Marte misplayed a ball grossly in right field, and then he fumbled it. both runs I think we're going to score either way. Cruz had a double on the day as a team, 12 strikeouts, 2 walks, 5 hits, 2 for 7 runners in scoring position, 4 left on base. So went up 2-0 in this series, which brings us to Saturday.
Saturday, the Pirates won 2-1, or they lost 2-1. Sorry. Yeah. Braxton Ashcraft got the start, went 3 1/3, 3 hits, 1 earned, 1 walk, 5 Ks, had 8 whiffs. Carmen Mlodzinski went 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 3 Ks. A little bit of a piggyback action there. Ryan Brucke, 2/3 of an inning, 1 walk. Isaac Mattson went 1 inning, no hits, 2 Ks. And Cam Sanders, another scoreless outing, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 K. Not much offensively here. Jared Triolo was 1 for 3 with a double. Spencer Horwitz was 2 for 3. 4 hits total, 1 for 1 with runners in scoring positions. 5 left on base, 4 Ks. Adam, that brings us into the high-scoring effort of this Sunday game. What happened?
They lost 14-8. Now, I have a couple reasons why I hate this game. I lost my fantasy hopes and dreams.
Oh, did you lose?
Yeah, by 1.
Oh, man, I saw it was tied going into the day.
It was tied all week, and I just,
sorry, man.
You know what? I've dealt with a ton of injuries, so this game really did me in. Horwitz, man, has stayed hot. He had 2 hits on the day. Reynolds had 2 hits. Gonzo, Sawinski had 2 hits. As a team, 8 Ks, 5 walks, 16 hits. Still lost this game. Really not much slugging out. I mean, there's 3 doubles on the day. I mean, it's kind of the same story as always. 4 for 18 runners in scoring position, 12 left on base. Burrows looked good to start. He had 6 Ks on the day, 5 innings, 3 hits, 4 earned, 1 walk. Supplemented by Yohan Ramirez, 1 1/3, 4 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks. This is kind of really where it got away from us. And then Dari Moreta went 1 1/3, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 K. And then Ryan Brucke came in to clean up that mess, went 1/3 of an inning, gave up 1 hit. Cam Sanders with 1/3 of an inning. I mean, talk about Ramirez, where it really went downhill. Cam Sanders, welcome to the big leagues, my guy. 1/3, 4 hits, 5 earned, 2 walks, no strikeouts. And then Isaac Mattson, classic Mattson, 2/3 of an inning, 1 walk, 1 K. His ERA is at a 2.22. Man, and there's a little bit of a comeback off of some Reds mistakes in this game, but right when Miguel Andujar hit a 110-mile-per-hour home run off of Mike Burrows, we were sitting in the press box when it happened. I was like, that's the hardest hit ball I've ever seen in my entire life.
Where'd it go? Left field?
Left field, right down the line, on a line, like maybe 20 feet off the ground. Just absolutely pissed on. And apparently he was at the Clemente Museum.
Nice.
The night before. Yeah. So we were talking to Dwayne about that. I think like 10 of the Reds went to the museum. So
I think I saw a picture. It looked like a lot of guys were there. So
yes. Shout out the Clemente Museum, by the way. Dwayne's an awesome guy. We love chatting it up on the field with him. We got to get over there.
Yeah, we do. One of my favorite places in Pittsburgh. I think I've said it before, but just a really cool experience. He has a wine cellar in the basement, and just all the stuff, memorabilia he has there and has been able to collect over the years. It's a pretty special place.
Absolutely. So yeah, tied the series. The Reds are competitive. I was talking to Noah and Debo about this. Imagine if the Pirates were just the Reds. They're not the best team. They don't have the best talent in the world. They have some key pieces, but they're playing winning baseball. They're competing. They're playing meaningful games in August. Brian Hayes said it in his interview in the Scrum. It's nice to be playing at a place that wants to win. I'm sure it is. Like, you can't fault him for saying that. Like, I think anyone that would leave here and go somewhere else would probably experience culture shock from how different it must be. It's sad, man. Like, I know it's the dog days of the summer. We're trying to grind through this. Like, I get it. I want to watch meaningful baseball, and it's becoming very difficult to stay focused on these games when there's so many other things that they could be doing as an organization to set the trajectory in the right way for 2026. And it just seems like we're still going downhill.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like there's an end in sight, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
Fair.
I'm getting depressed. Let's take a break and come back and preview the Brewer series.
Scott, we head to Milwaukee to take on the first place in the NL Central Brewers. They're 72-44. Before we get into it, shout out to Sports Card Junction. We gave away a ton of cool boxes this weekend. Sports Card Junction, 9011 Perry Highway, or sportscardjunction.com. You could find baseball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, much, much more. Whatever your heart desires, whatever you're collecting in the hobby, Sports Card Junction has you covered. You can find them on eBay, in the store, online, social media. Sports Card Junction is the best place in Pittsburgh by far for your hobby needs. Scott, let's talk Brewers. All right. Monday, right-handed pitcher Freddie Peralta versus Andrew Heaney, who is still here on this team. Peralta, 2025, 13-5 with a 3.03 ERA, 130 2/3 innings pitched, 24 games, 141 Ks with a 1.14 whip. He's had 2 starts versus Pittsburgh this year. Pittsburgh's won 1, and the Brewers have won 1. The Arsenal, 4-seam change curve slider, known early in his career for his dominant fastball and command inconsistency. Peralta has refined his arsenal and pitch usage, adding secondary weapons that complement his elite fastball shape. High strikeout number 2 starter with ace-level upside when command is on. His whip-heavy approach can dominate any lineup. We've seen him time and time again. This is, I mean, you talk like borderline ace. Like I would venture out to say like he has ace stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go into Tuesday. Jose Quintana, former Pirate, will face Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens does well in Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken. But Quintana this year has put together a pretty impressive line for the as a vet. 9-4 with a 3.57 ERA, 93 1/3 innings pitched, 17 games started, 66 Ks, and a 134 whip. He'll throw a sinker, change, curve, 4-seam, and slurve at you. That sinker he'll throw about 45% of the time, sits in the low 90s. The change will sit in the mid 80s, and he'll throw that about 22% of the time. He's a veteran southpaw who built his career on durability, consistency, and command rather than overpowering stuff. In his recent years, his margin for error has narrowed. Velocity is down, and he relies heavily on sequencing and location to succeed. That all started when he was a Pirate, and they flipped him at the deadline, man. He really revived his career here. So get to face him again in Milwaukee.
And then Wednesday, right-handed pitcher Brandon Woodruff versus Mitch Keller. This year, Woodruff is 4-0 with a 2.29 ERA, 35 1/3 innings pitched, 6 games, 45 Ks with a 0.65 whip. The Arsenal, again, the kitchen sink here. 4-seam sinker, change, cutter, curve, sweeper. His comeback has been nothing short of remarkable. Scott, after nearly 2 years sideline, he's back with early signs of elite form, elite stuff, elite control, fastball life. If he can manage his health and maintain the workload balance, he can reclaim his status as a top tier number 1 or number 2 starter. So, I mean, this is going to be a tough series on the road against the Brewers. I could tell you that every single time the Pirates play anybody. So it is what it is. We got to finish out the year strong. Hopefully see some of these younger guys that we've been mentioning or that have been mentioned by the front office get some playing time. Just see what you got. Just work stuff around here. But let's get into the players of the week. I'll get it kicked off with the hitter of the week is going to be Brian Patrick Reynolds. Did you know that? Middle name Patrick?
I did not. I was wondering where you were going there for a second. I was like, Brian Patrick, what? I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Brian Patrick Reynolds, born January 27th, 1995. Okay. Out of Baltimore, Maryland. This week, hit 320 with a 370 OBP, 600 slug, 4 RBIs, 2 walks, 1 home run, 8 hits, scored 3 runs and 25 at-bats. Again, we mentioned the stats for the month of August. It looks like he's starting to get going. That's very encouraging moving forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then our pitcher of the week is a guy you've probably heard of once or twice. His name is Paul Skeens. I think his middle name might be David.
Paul David.
Paul David. Let's double check that real quick. We can cut a lot of this out. But Paul David Skeens. All right. Wow. That's a little bit creepy, Scott. All right. 6 innings, 7 hits, no earned, no walks, 8 Ks. No earned, no walks. Looked really good on Thursday against the Reds. Looked dominating, honestly. That's vintage Paul Skeens for you. By the way, do you think he's gonna win Cy Young this year?
He has to.
He's the betting favorite. Someone asked me that the other day, and they're like, given the current state of the team, does that hurt him? I was like,
nope.
He's put the. I mean, Jacob deGrom won it with the Mets and I think he had a losing record. I'm almost positive.
100%. Yeah. So he's going to win. I mean, there's no way he can't. Yeah. He's been absolutely remarkable. That's great.
That's why they got money off the books, because that salary is about to go up next year, brother.
Yeah, it is. It really, really is. Oh, man. Oh, God. Thank you for listening. We appreciate everybody that came up to us at the ballpark this weekend and said hi. Please do so. We love to talk to everybody at PNC Park, all the Pirates fans. You guys are awesome. Stick with it. Only about a month and a half left of the season. And then you can start drinking the hopium again for next year.
Yeah. And we'll be there to provide the hopium too.
Nice little refresh, restart. Make sure you follow us on all social media at Bucco Bantr on YouTube. Subscribe, leave a comment. If you're listening, we love you too. Leave a 5-star review. Leave a comment. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Go to buccobantr.com for all of your merch needs. Am I missing anything else?
I think that's about it, man.
That's about it. So till next time, raise it.
Raise it.
Best seats at the Pirates game, they let me run the base. Yeah, my time is like my money, cause I can't afford to waste. Wifey is a lawyer, take my date to my dates or the steak by the plate.